All right, background track part two. Right, so I get my Univox Les Paul, and I'm ready to rock. Well, right down the street, a good friend named Pete Trumbull. I'm living in Mountainville at this time as well. He plays drums, so we started jamming out in his driveway, and we jammed in his basement, and we started playing. And then I moved away to Branchburg and met a guy named Scott Saxton, a drummer. And me and him were very good friends back then. Very cool guy. Peace, brother. We ended up putting a band together with friends that some of you will remember. So you Branchburg people in Somerville, TK, Kenny Carr. He was the lead vocalist. So the first gig I ever did was in 1977, playing the 8th grade graduation. I graduated in 76. So the year behind me, their graduation party, I got to play at on stage. I think the four of us made $100 for the hour and a half gig. So that's the very first gig I did. And I'll never forget, this was a dance. We turned it into a concert right off the bat. We opened up with Into the Void by Black Sabbath. And I had this strobe light, right? So I set the strobe light at the beginning of it. Well, they opened the doors and we kicked that in. Everybody just went and flooded to the stage. Then we had another kid backstage on the main lights and another kid ready to shut the damn strobe light off. And as soon as the heavy part was coming, I gave the guy a nod. Bam! Full lights. So that's the kind of stuff I was doing in 77. I know we did Rock and Roll Hoochie Goo and stuff like that. We probably did Johnny Be Good. I mean, they're fun tunes to play. So that's kind of give you the basis of where we started. And then after that, I was in high school. So by the time I was a freshman, junior, got into another band with, that first band was called Fire Mountain Story. This band here with Eric Tollefson, Tex Houston, Brian Hamer, myself, and that might have been it. I have no idea what the name of that band was, but we did some high school shows. I think we did a high school dance, and then we did a concert in their theater. Again, high schools back then had a really good music department, and they also had an awesome theater department, full-size stage, lights, the whole 9 yards. So that was cool. That had to be, again, in the early 70s. And then I continued to play with a fusion band called Organized Confusion. That was like in 80, 81, 2, 3, something like that. 4, I think. So that was a 6-piece band, 2 guitars, 2 keys, bass, and drums. And that was a great experience too. Now I realized I already had a pretty good music education under my belt by the time I joined them guys. But just to give you background on some of my experiences and stage time and the music we grew up with. In another ep, I want to do a whole segment and talk about Prague, man. Let's talk about Prague. But for now, it's time for a blue cup of coffee.